What up, everybody? Eric here, 30 days, 30 trades. If you are wondering why I have this big grin on my face, it's because today was a great day in the 30-day, 30 trade segment. Okay. Um, Again, those of you who don't know, Eric here, Travel and Trading. So, what we're doing in this segment here again is recapping me taking 30 trades straight or trading for 30 days straight, whichever comes first. So we could get done sooner than 30 days, but if we don't, then 30 days will be the maximum. And this is basically just to kind of show you guys how pretty much trading is day in and day out. Okay. Today, again, just to kind of recap my rules and what I'm doing as far as this here. Again, on average, I try to take one, maybe two trades at the most a day. Usually it's just one. Even for this segment, I'll be doing just one trade a day, unless an opportunity presents itself, like a couple of days ago, what happened. So one trade a day, basically, we're trading with 10 grand is what we're risking to lose, basically at the most point. So naturally, we're going to be trading small caps, penny stocks, is what I really focus on in my market segment. So that's going to be stocks anywhere between 50 cents all the way up to 20 bucks. Sometimes a little bit more, depending on a few different factors that I teach you guys in the course. But other than that, that's pretty much what we're focusing on, small caps. And this is so that, we're getting a good percentage return on our money. And again, guys, just takes practice and all that good stuff. So a lot of these reviews I'll be doing here might seem a little bit redundant, but it's okay because you need the redundancy in order to get that practice in, which is fine. Now, let's talk about today's trades. It was a great trade today because NUKK played out just like we wanted to, even better, actually, more so, and still kind of running a little bit after hours. So kudos and congrats to all you guys who got into that. I'll go over the thought process, the ins and outs of this trade, but this was what, a 200% gainer. I didn't nail the top, but again, that's not the goal. The goal is to be green first and foremost, and of course, the next profitable is just try to get the meter to move. That's really what we're focusing on. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This is going to be day number 12. I believe this is our 14th trade, so we're almost about halfway there after tomorrow. Um, and hopefully we'll wrap up the end of the month with, green. Today definitely give us a big boost in our bottom line. Um, so let's just jump into it. So again, what you're seeing right now here on the chart is just a couple of stocks I was looking at uh, throughout the day and basically pre-market. And so my main two focuses, as I put in the group chat and the alerts channel, was coming out of the gate was pretty much the ones that we traded. So let me get this pulled up here. So let me pull it up for you guys here and show you how we kind of came upon these here. Of course, we had the watch list, which is what you come into the market and pre-market doing if you're up that early doing that. And if you're not, fine, fine and dandy. Nothing, major. But NUKK, OPTX, and PRTG were the ones that I was looking at. And this was before NUKK even got the news. We was just looking at it based on the volume spike that it had there. Uh, so that was one of the main things. Let me actually pull up the alerts. So again, guys, if you're not subscribed to the alerts, I mean, that's fine. Find your stocks, however you want to find them. But yeah, I mean, it definitely gives you an edge, guys. It's focusing on taking out all the fluff and jargon, all that good stuff that's crowding the market on a day-to-day basis and having you focus on, again, small cap, penny stocks, the ones that make you most profitable and give you the most return percentage on your money. That's what we're focusing on because that's how you grow an account, okay? It's not trading these big blue chip stocks. You're going to get 0.1, 2, 3% move at most. Sometimes you'll get some bangers and some home runs like, Tesla and all those guys every now and then. But even then, that's still a couple dollars for people who don't have a lot of money. So here we're focusing on growing these small accounts as much as possible. So this is pretty much what we came into the market with looking at. Nothing was really popping off there. We had PRTG with the first news there at 7 a.m. And then pretty much came down to it. There's a lot of different news coming through, which has some pretty good, things there. But then NUKK had a spike up there, which kind of set the precedence for us to look at it. We got alerted at 219. For those of you that got into it, anybody that got into it before me, I mean, kudos to you. I didn't get in because of a few different reasons, but anyways, that's the earliest we got the spike there. We got the notification was on, 5:05, which is what 8:05 Eastern time. So you had time. You had time. But yeah, pretty much that's how it went. And eventually the news came out here about it achieving a milestone acquisition uh, right here with domestic defense. So it's defense spending basically. So let's get into the chart real quick and recap that because I want to address one of the things that I did here too today, guys, was I pretty much held this thing mostly of all day. I'll put the final results into the video actually, and it's also in the Facebook group. I already posted. I posted there first and foremost anything because Facebook is always up there. So you'll see me post the results in there more often than not before anything, but then you'll see them again here as well too. So let's just kind of jump into it. So as you can see, right, this is pretty much where we're getting the notifications of it. And again, didn't really pique any interest or set any bells off because of the fact that it was just minuscule pre-market. It wasn't really doing nothing. But then finally come opening bell, what happens? It breaks a high. And that's when it starts to get interesting. And the crazy thing is, like this happening around this time was the same time I was considering jumping into SIDU, which I know a few of you guys in the chat room was looking at too as well. Um, the reason why this one was more attractive to me was because this one started to have more volume come in as opposed to SIDU. It started to die down, wasn't really trying to break anything. So again, that was just a back burner play, which again is okay to do if you know if it's meeting your criteria. It didn't meet mine. So we had this breakout here, and let's kind of get into me getting into this bad boy at $4.78 because what happens, right? A lot of times you guys are nervous. I don't know if you're nervous so much so you don't know when to exit. So there's a difference between knowing when to exit a trade and then just letting it ride. And honestly, guys, you need to have your trading strategy set up for both of those instances. If you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're kind of missing out on that. And I'll probably get into more detail on how to actually do that or how I actually do it. Every person does it differently, but I'll cover that some more in details in the course for you guys and put it in there. All right. That's going to be a whole segment on its own. But anyways, we got into this bad boy at 478. So pretty much like right around this area. And the reason why I got into it is because boom, we had a pop, showed some strength, and we had a little bit of a pullback, which was indicating some really good signs of establishing some support. You got all, if you know your candlesticks, and I teach you guys the candlesticks as well too, you should know them. These are pretty much bullish candles. So I was anticipating, some more leeway to be there, especially with us being still, what, not even an hour after pre-market. So that's a good sign there too, that volume is coming in. And then, seven at 478 got into it right around that red candles, anticipating either a pullback down to the support of the 250, which I was okay with. There's a $2 risk to reward or a potential break there. Now, another good solid thing was I didn't get stopped out here for a break even, because when I got into this thing, because again, it broke two levels of high, so the third one's bound to come, right? Provided it doesn't break the support level here, which was good because it didn't. So we had that natural come up and then a natural pullback. Some people want to scalp this area and just take that. If you're a scalp trader, that's fine. Me, I'm gonna, let the momentum ride. I had no reason to get out this trade, guys. No reason to get out this trade. And again, I'm showing you guys this without having any kind of exponential moving averages on there, any moving averages on there, any simple moving averages. I don't even have a volume weighted average price on here. This is just basic chart reading. I mean, I have my oscillators down here with the Squeeze Pro, or if you want to use the MACD, you can do that. Or and I have the Voltex indicator. If you want to use like RSI or something else like that, you can do that as well too. Normally on my Webull chart where I'm executing my trades, I have the moving averages there and the volume weighted average price. But those are pretty much it. You keep it simple, keep it easy. And I believe at that point it had showed another good golden cross, so that was more of a reason to stick in the trade there as well too. But we had that little bit of a pullback, which is great. And now this is where it starts to get interesting. We had it break another high, and we let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. Now you got to be wondering to yourself, right? At this point, where should I take profits? Remember, my take profit. Remember, it was a $2 risk to reward, right? Because I was anticipating it to go down. So I'm looking to take profits, hopefully around that, $8 mark, provided that not $8. I'm sorry, $6 mark, provided that nothing, nothing gives me indication that the volume is going to slow down, and it didn't, especially in this area here when it was attempting to break down. So you got to remember, and this is why a lot of times for people who trade like Fibonacci strategies and things like that, that stuff works, because when you're entering, when you're calculating the highest highs and the highest lows, and the lowest lows, and you're drawing your Fibonacci, retracement areas, price range does move within that time frame, guys. So that's why I say it's good to study that. If you haven't seen the Fibonacci video I created, you should go watch it again. It's good insight. Again, I don't trade Fibonacci strategy, but I take that into consideration when I'm considering the movement and the possibles ups and downs of the price action of the stock and where I should be looking at for it to break. Okay, so do this enough, guys, it gets repetitive. But yeah, so we had that breakout, and that was great too. So at this point, you would think I'd want to take profits, right? Well, yeah, ideally, but again, if I'm in the green and I know we're on another cycle of, the isolators moving up, especially with like something like squeeze pros or vortex indicators or whatever you're using, and the strength is still there in the momentum of the bullish side of the trade, I have no reason to get out. Okay, no reason to get out. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this ride. And then I'll wait for the other pullback, because what I'm anticipating when that next pullback comes is probably going to be the area where I'm going to start to take my profits. Because remember, if that support level on the next leg up is going to break, then that's a possible indication that it's starting to come back down the pullback, which again is going to make me, take my profits. Sometimes you get stopped out, sometimes you don't. The problem is a lot of you guys are getting stopped out at the craziest times too early. Like, why would you want to get out here? This is a natural pullback, guys. And if you're taking your profits around this time, it's one or two things. Your strategy either needs to be retuned, or two, your psychological aspect in there is psyching you out to where you're thinking you're going to lose your money, and you're too emotionally attached to what you're trading, which you need to either scale down and give yourself more room to wait for a pullback, or just completely change your strategy. Because you guys got to understand, I was in the red at some point. You're going to be in the red. That's just it. I don't set hard stop losses. I do mental ones, but that takes discipline. If you're not ready to do that, then maybe a hard stop loss is good. But if you do that hard stop loss, make sure you give yourself a good range. Okay. As you become better, you're going to tighten up your range of your stop loss, because you're going to be more used to it. Okay. And how your strategy works. But for me, there was no reason to get out. And for those of you that are getting out on these little pullbacks, try your best to stop doing that. Let the trade play out. Okay. Wait for the next go round. If it's not going your way on the next go round, then that could be a time to maybe get out. Okay. But see, I had no reason to get out, but let it ride. Look at this thing. This thing did ride. Look at this, just keep going up and up and up. Guys, this thing went to a high of $17. So overall, I ended up getting a little bit of over what, 237%, I believe it was. And then it was a $5,600 profit for me. 56.75, I believe. And the thing with that, guys, I was up another extra thousand. So I didn't nail the top, which is fine. I got out closer towards here, right before, you know, power. Well, right in that last hour, I was like, okay, we're not getting no more strength. So I took it out on this go up here, because it grinded out right here, which was, again, I was fine with taking this profit. That's fine. But I wanted to risk it a little bit to see if there was another pop coming through at the end of the day, and it didn't come through, which is fine. I'm assuming it's probably going to die out from this point on. But didn't quite nail the top. I was up 61, 65, or 67. I forgot. It was up well over 6,000, but I ended up taking a little bit less and ended up with 5 grand, getting out around the $16 area. So that's fine. Do the math yourself. But yeah, that's pretty much how this trade played out, guys. 237% gainer. I do believe this is our biggest gainer so far in the 30 days, 30 trades. I could be wrong, but we're 15. What is it? It's December 17th, 2024. That's where we're at. So another good day, another good dollar, little over 5 grand in the pocket. I believe overall we are doing pretty well. Yeah, we're almost at 20K this so far this month, guys. We're getting there. We're getting there. Follow along with the journey. All right. If you guys have any questions, comment them below, please. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let me know if you guys have any questions about what we're doing, how to trade the stocks. If you have any questions, you got the free strategies guide I have you guys. You can click on it in the comments below. I have the course up there for you to learn from the beginning how to do this stuff. What else do I have for you? You got the alerts. I don't know what else more I can give you. At this point, it's just you practicing and getting into it and finding your rhythm and your place in the market. If trading isn't for you, it just isn't for you. Hey, at least you took the time to learn something new, you're at least going to learn something about investing, worst case scenario, and what to even look for. And I give you guys that for free in the free trading course. It's just basic fundamentals when you want to go spend a month or two, every other month or so, find a stock to invest in and look for some of those things I tell you guys in the fundamental tradings and make some money. I don't know what else to do. But other than that, guys, I'll be here if you need anything. I'm going to call it a day. You guys stay green, and we'll trade tomorrow.